You keep my father's name out of your mouth. We got our boy CM Punk coming down that aisle as your 9-time World's Heavyweight Champion. I know they're saying 7, but I'm saying 9, motherfucker, because he's also got those 2 AEW championships. 10 if you want to count Ring of Honor, more if you want to count ECW, which you don't count ECW WWE, even though it's the ECW's world title. It's the WWE's version of it, though it wasn't the silver WWE version of it, so there's a tiny little nuance to that. You could technically say it's the same lineage, but it's not really the same thing, and you get what I'm saying. Our boy comes down the aisle, our world's heavyweight champion, and I have never been so proud. This is my guy. It's always been my guy, unabashedly my guy. The only time I flinched is when he seemingly went crazy for that moment, eating the muffins, burying AEW completely, but time turned out to tell us that it was AEW that was really a bunch of little kids and just, the king of the indies, and CM Punk was the real professional. As you see him here with the world title, comes on out. He's got people he wants to thank. He's thanking people. He wants to thank Jey Uso for doing the job. He wants to thank his wife for having an ass that doesn't quit, but it's not the best ass in the world. AJ is fine, don't get me wrong, but it's not like she's got an ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ass and then there's an ass that doesn't quit. But regardless, he wants to thank the people. There was the people that supported him all along the way, like me. He personally thanked me for his world title win, and then he went on to challenge everybody, and he's putting people over as he's challenging them. Everybody from a Finn Balor to an AJ Styles to fucking JD Big Head Bobblehead McDonough. The one person he doesn't name is the person who walks out to the ring, baby, to answer the call, Logan Paul. I popped when this happened. I said, yes, that's the right answer. That's the right answer. Now, I don't know why Logan Paul's teasing being a babyface here. Excuse my French. I don't know why they're plausibly toying around with pairing him up with CM Punk of all people. Punk's reaction to Logan Paul coming out was great. He helped Logan get so much heat. The one thing I didn't like about this was when the henchmen came out, Bebop and Rocksteady with the glasses on, Paul Heyman's goon squad there. I didn't like that Logan Paul kind of acted like a bitch and kind of got treated like a bitch. That he was backstage and he was trying to walk backstage and he got fucking pushed up against the side of the ring by Braun Breaker. I didn't like that. I didn't like that he didn't have the balls or didn't want to stay and fight along with Punk. That he was going to bitch out, and it wasn't till Punk was getting smoked by both guys that Logan maybe had a change of heart and turned around to go back in there and help, and then ended up getting his ass handed to him anyway. Got squished like a pancake by Bronson Reed, and then you got fucking Punk to the rescue with the steel chair, the great equalizer. Bam! Takes a swing at Braun. Braun powders out like the smart guy that he is. Bronson Reed eats 2 chair shots before he powders out of the ring, and Punk stands tall, willing to fight them both. And Logan Paul cowers in the corner like a bitch. I don't know what they're setting up here. I don't know if they're going right straight into Punk versus Braun, Punk versus Bronson. I think it's a little too early to give the title to Braun. Not that he might not be ready for it. Less ready guys have had the belt and had a bigger push. But he's not technically positioned that high up on the card right now. He's still kind of coming off as a henchman for me for Paul Heyman. So we need to do something. Maybe him and Bronson butt heads over who should get the title shot. And maybe that causes division between them, because as long as they're paired together, they're Bebop and Rocksteady. They're fucking Toka and Razor. They are not a serious threat to the world heavyweight champion. Though if Braun were to destroy Bronson and then challenge Punk, he would be a serious contender. I don't know that we're ready to pull the trigger on Braun yet. I think we need to see more of a meteoric rise out of him. Something like a Royal Rumble win, something like some big main, top guy. He should be possibly the guy that gets Cena's last match, or one of the guys that gets Cena's last match. Like, really build up his credibility and go from there. Maybe by WrestleMania, maybe he's your project for next year's WrestleMania, not this coming one in Vegas, but maybe Braun gets the nod in fucking Saudi, and the Prince himself comes out and crowns him and gives him the ceremonial blowjob that they give over there, and all that stuff, and crown him the new world champion there. But I don't know that now is the time for that. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with Punk. But this was a nice segment overall. I thought they just made Logan look like a bitch, which probably makes a lot of other people happy, but for me, I wasn't feeling it too much. We have Stephanie Vaquer teaming up with Nikki Bella, who's been getting a lot of attention online as of late for her assets that she brings to the ring. So she's being prominently featured here along with the women's world heavyweight champion to take on my favorite team, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez, I have talked about many times on this show, one of my favorite, most improved women's wrestlers currently. She has just stepped up to the plate. Ever since Liv got hurt, it was almost like, shit, what am I going to do now? Because Liv was the big star. Raquel made a name for herself. Roxanne Perez obviously filling that spot very well, but Raquel Rodriguez has stepped up to the plate. So when you see her go face to face with Stephanie Vaquer, it means something. You get hyped. You want to see that match happen. In fact, I want to see that match happen. I think that would be an absolute fucking banger, to be honest with you. This tag team match, this was a nice little tag team match. It was built basically just to feature the women. Some good moves here and there. Some good tag team, double team tandem from Nikki and from Stephanie Vaquer. But in the end, we had Roxanne Perez hitting pop rocks on Nikki Bella, getting the pin on her after a stiff shot from Raquel Rodriguez. I like that they're keeping Roxanne and Raquel strong. That's what they need to be doing. Dominant tag team, one of the most dominant tag teams in the women's division. Certainly Raquel and Liv were absolutely the most dominant tag team by the numbers, by the championship wins. So keeping them strong is good, and Stephanie obviously isn't hurt by the loss. Nikki, no one cares except for, how she looks when she comes out and does the little twirl gimmick that she does. Nice little match here, nothing special to write home about. Let's go on to the next here. We had a backstage segment with CM Punk walking the hallways, and he is confronted by the man he beat for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event. Main event, Jey Uso, who I did a video teasing that I think is about time that he turns heel, but that is the only way to go at this point. And I have a very bad omen. Triple H made that tweet or whatever the fuck he said, that the landscape of WWE is about to change. I see Jey Uso turning on CM Punk. It appears that they are going to align with each other to take on the Vision or whatever the fuck they're calling themselves, the henchmen, right? Bebop and Rocksteady tonight. And as I record this, I don't know what's going to happen, but I have a hunch that we're going to see a Jey Uso heel turn. He's going to turn on Punk. It'll probably be Punk's next opponent, a heel Jey Uso, who, again, will not win the world title, but will hopefully set himself up for a nice dastardly run as a dastardly heel, because the fans just ain't buying his bullshit anymore. He's got nowhere else to go but heel. He has to turn heel, and the best way to do that is to turn heel on Punk tonight. I didn't call that at the beginning of the show, but now that I see what they're lining up here, I absolutely think look out for the swerve. Watch the heel turn. Jey Uso is going to turn on CM Punk here tonight. We were blessed with, and I do mean blessed with, thank you, Father, one of the greatest, two of the greatest luchadors of all time in El Grande Americano versus Penta, one-on-one here on Raw. This was a fantastic little banger of a match. It really got going towards the end of the match. El Grande Americano, of course, may or may not be being portrayed by the former Ludwig Kaiser. And did Kaiser break up with Tiffany? Is this what I'm hearing? I see this somewhere out on the internet. I have no way to confirm this. I don't know. Is that what you guys are hearing out on the streets? Let me know. May or may not be Kaiser. I don't know. Then there's this Bravo and Ryo. Who the fuck are these guys? Is this the Brutus brothers or whoever the fuck those guys were that were with Chad Gable? I have no idea who these folks are, but okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're going, it's going to be El Grande against my man Penta. And I think Penta's been being booked great here in WWE. He's not winning every match. He's not like on this skyrocketing fucking trip to the main event spot, but he's also not floundering or sinking to the bottom of the card. He's like a solid staple in the mid card. And they're booking him great. He's losing just enough. He's losing the big matches. He's not getting too far ahead of himself. But then things like they did on Saturday night's main event. Excuse me. Rusev took the L, right? Not Penta. They protected Penta by without putting Penta over. They featured Penta. They got all the fireworks and shit. He's in one of the commercials. I forgot what, it's like one of the phone companies or something. They got him in one of the Cricket. Was it Cricket Wireless? Something like that. They got Penta in the fucking Cricket commercial now. Like, if you were to tell him where he'd be when he came to WWE, I'm telling you, he's a happy guy. He's prominently featured, mid-card, banger after banger after banger after banger of a match. He's got a lot of haters out there. I'm seeing a lot of that. I don't get it. I think Penta's the shit. I think he just oozes machismo, oozes charisma. He's so cool. This was a hell of a match. And, props to El Grande Americano, too. I thought it was great with the Stooges getting kicked out one by one and teasing the steel plate in the head. But ultimately, Penta gets the win. And this is a good way to continue to propel Penta, to continue to give him forward momentum, to be a formidable guy and an anchor holding down that mid-card. We got this weird backstage promo, this pre-packaged promo of Asuka and Kairi saying the Kabuki Warriors, they're heels, and they're looking for respect, and they're going to beat some respect into the women's tag team division, was basically the gist of that. I'm a huge fan of Asuka. Kairi Sane, never really did much for me. I've always kind of seen her and Io Sky as sort of competing for a similar spot, and Io Sky certainly earned that spot. I think Asuka's kind of giving her credibility right now. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the women's tag team division. Certainly, they'd be great opponents for Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. So let's see that. Survivor Series, perhaps. WrestleMania is a little bit too far away, but fuck, that's a hell of a tag team match for Survivor Series, ain't it? You keep my father's name out of your mouth. This was Fucking incredible. This is why Dominik Mysterio is the greatest Mysterio and the greatest luchador of all time. We were graced with two of the greats earlier on with Penta versus El Grande, but we had Dominik Mysterio in our presence. And he was out there just talking about why he's so great and that nobody can be better than his greatness. And out comes his deadbeat dad once again. Now, I got to tell you, I'm bored with the Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio thing. We've done it so many times before. Oh, you're a brat. You'll never be better than me. I need to whoop your ass and teach you some respect. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Dominik got a huge pop when he came out, and he was damn near babyface the whole time during that promo. Rey was tiptoeing on being the heel in that segment, and he didn't even know it. Just talking about beating some respect into Dom, and Dom hits him back with that, don't talk about my daddy like that. And yes, I'm better than all the Guerreros combined, and Mysterios, and Blue Demon, and the other fuckers, El Santo, all these guys. I'm better than all of them. Fuck you. I mean, this was a great segment, don't get me wrong. This was a strong segment for Dominik Mysterio to cement why we love Dominik, but Triple H has this problem of booking in circles and not knowing how to get off of the wheel, so to speak. And I just feel like Dominik and Rey, we've done this dance how many fucking times now? It's cool to see Rey back, but I don't want to see him with Dominik anymore. And I don't want to see Dominik have to powder out for his dad, because what does that mean? Now we're going to have to build to a match? Why a match? Why do we need Rey and Dominik again? Not again. But Dominik was this is Dominik Mysterio at his best right here. Bayley and Lyra were backstage, yada yada, nobody gives a fuck. The guy in the background doesn't give a fuck. He can't be bothered. He's doing his notes. He doesn't give a fuck what Bayley and Lyra are talking about. Neither do we. What we really care about is Becky Lynch. Becky comes out a la R-Truth, a la Ron Killing's R-Truth, with the black hoodie up over her head onto the announce table, unannounced, uninvited, takes the microphone because she's got some ranting to do. And this started off fantastic. The shot, it's always a cheap shot. You go for the cheap pop or the cheap heat to take a shot at the local hometown. But to say, the only thing cool about this town, about you guys, Arizona is where they're at, I think, right? Or no, New Mexico is a show about how much meth you guys do. The crowd just... Wade Barrett there, you can see him in the background, I think, on my screen here. Look at he can barely hold it together. That was funny as hell. But somehow this trailed off into a promo on Maxine Dupree. So I hope Maxine Dupree is ready to step up, because I'll tell you, Becky Lynch is doing some goddamn good work right now. It's about time she gets recognized. I'm not the only one saying it. Sean Ross Sapp is saying it. Wade Keller, he's saying it. People are saying it. Becky Lynch is doing some great work right now. The Intercontinental Championship, she's making that thing fucking relevant. Maxine Dupree is getting a nice little spotlight right now. Maybe she's ready. Maybe she will step up, and we were on our way to creating another new star in the women's division. But otherwise, I thought this was a really good promo that had the potential to go somewhere, with Becky ranting about Seth Rollins and the Vision and Paul Heyman and wherever else that promo wanted to take her. And I thought that was going great. And then it was like, but Maxine Dupree, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, I guess I don't care about Maxine Dupree and I'm not invested in this story, but I think if you're going to have a Becky Lynch in her prime and she's going to be cutting these kind of fun promos, she's expending that energy, giving that value and attention to a Maxine Dupree. Let's see what she can do with it. Let's let her step up to the plate. I want to see that match. But if she fails, we need to move on from the jobbers and start moving Becky back up to the top of the card. We have the Kabuki Warriors moving forward, defeating Lyra and Bayley. They will now look like they are going on to face Charlotte and Alexa Bliss at Survivor Series. So this is going to be a dope tag team match. I am all for this. Bayley and Lyra, man, I don't know what to think about these two anymore. I'm ready for Bayley to just go to AEW, to be 100% honest with you. I've heard that rumor. You've probably heard that rumor too. Her bestie's over there living her best life, winning everybody's championship. It makes a lot of sense for Bayley to go over there because she's kind of floundering and just not doing anything at all in WWE, slowly dying a slow, miserable death because she's not a top girl. She's not going to be a top girl, and she's getting older and less impressive as time goes on. So she's going to slowly move down the card. Lyra, unless you completely change her character again or give her something significant to chew on, which she just doesn't have. And Lyra, I think they took a very wrong turn when Becky Lynch got the best of Lyra in their little feud over the Intercontinental title. As much as Becky holding the Intercontinental title elevates the Intercontinental title right now, she didn't need it. She doesn't need it. She's doing fine without it. And Lyra needed that. And Lyra needed that win. And her losing that final blow-off match in that feud with Becky Lynch and losing the title sucked her right back down to the bottom of the fucking mid-card, working with Bayley again, doing jobs to the Kabuki Warriors. She took a far left turn, and I think she's going to have a very hard time climbing back up from that. We got a backstage segment in the Judgment Day Clubhouse as Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez walk up to JD and Finn. Very excited because Raquel just got herself a match against Stephanie Vaquer 1-on-1. Remember, I was talking about that earlier in their their little tag team match when they stood face to face, and it was a little bit of like, ooh, I want to see that one. Now we get to see that one next week already. Raquel Rodriguez 1-on-1 with Stephanie, and I'm telling you right now, that's going to be a good match. We got a little bit more heat, if you will, a little bit more tension between Dominik and Finn. I'm kind of over this. Finn's just been a whiny bitch. He's a very one-dimensional character. He's just confrontational. He's just driving the conflict. Where were you? Where were we? Where were you when we were? You weren't invited. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I'm just sick of the whiny bitch Finn Balor. Like, let's move on from it. I see people like out there advocating on the internet for Finn Balor to be the next world champion. Let's put him back up to the main event picture again. It's like, no, he's nowhere near that right now. He's doing all this silly shit. He's like a broken record. Him just nitpicking at Dom. They're like two little fucking schoolgirls. Knock it off. And then the same with Roxanne Perez and Dom being, ooh, they're left alone and she's being sweet on them. I feel like they're dragging that out a little bit too. Let's move on this. I don't know if they are literally just stalling until Liv gets back. But I mean, if that's the story you're going to tell, let's tell that story a little bit. Let's have her make a move on this motherfucker. Let's get the action going. It's the same shit every single week. It's like soap opera. It's just, the new scene where they're just getting a little closer and getting a little closer and getting a little closer. They're not even getting closer. There's just another, ooh, they're alone together, and there's Roxanne putting the moves on Dom. I don't know. The whole thing's dumb. This is more Triple H booking in circles, in my opinion. Let's get some action on all of this. Let's get Finn, do something else with Finn at this point, and Dom and Rey Mysterio, no one cares, and Roxanne Perez, let's lay a smooch on Dom or something. Let's get this fucking party started. Come on now. We had one hell of a tag team match here. We had AJ Styles teaming up with Dragon Lee, the team of AJ Lee, defending the tag team titles against the Judgment Day, JD McBobblehead McDonough and Finn Balor. This was a hell of a match. Great tag team action. This is the kind of stuff that you want to see from tag team action. I still think it's a little weird, the pairing of Dragon Lee and AJ Styles, but whatever. I think to have a full Hall of Fame run, not that AJ Styles was never going to have a Hall of Fame run, but you want to have these little weird sidebar adventures into, tag team title land or John Cena with the 24/7 United, or not the 24/7, but the Open Challenge, the United States title. You want to do strange sidebars like that, and you win random titles along the way, and you become a Grand Slam champion, and you get this well-rounded career. I mean, AJ Styles is already there, but just something like this is a cherry on top. So honestly, it doesn't matter who it is. It's just strange. I don't know that pairing clicks for me, but I mean, hey, they're tag team champions, so that's just another feather in the cap of AJ Styles' magnificent career. And, he's talked about how that's going to be winding down here pretty soon. So I hope we get to see some more great matches from AJ Styles, both in the tag team and singles like he had with John Cena. Let's give this guy one hell of a last run, because he's running out of time and running out of matches. As for the Judgment Day, what are we even doing with Finn Balor out there in track pants now? Fucking track pants? You want to push this guy to be in the world title picture and he's out there in track pants? Fuck off. He's not even trying. He hasn't even bothered. I mean, he's shredded, of course. He's hitting the gym. He's getting the diet in and stuff. He's not missing there. But track pants? Fuck, man. How much lower could Finn Balor be sinking at this point? We need to pull the trigger and separate him from Dirty Dom. I don't know if the Judgment Day needs to turn on Dom. Maybe that's the way that all this needs to go. I'm not sure at this point. Dom's basically a babyface, and JD's got a big bobblehead, and Finn Balor just can't even be bothered to wear actual wrestling gear anymore. That's where we're at with things. Stephanie Vaquer walking through the hallways with her fucking sweater on and her plaited skirt and her fucking tights, and she knows what she's doing. She doesn't need to stop. I need to stop. I need to calm down. I don't know what we were doing with this segment with Nikki Bella. This was very, very, very cringe. This was poor speaking abilities, not criticizing Stephanie. Stephanie doing very well for what she's working with. Nikki Bella just sucks at what she's working with. This was I just don't know why I thought I could hang with you're all such strong women, and I'm just sucking it up out there. And then Stephanie says, no, you're not. You helped make this division. And Nikki goes, you're right. Thank you. You'll never know what your kind words have meant to me, Nikki Bella. Thank you. It's just the most cringe, stupid. Who writes this shit? I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know. Look, Nikki Bella's getting a lot of attention, but because she's still snackalicious, and Stephanie's snacking her own right, so this is probably going to get a lot of attention just pairing these two together. But this was bad. This was really, really bad. Business is about to pick up. This is where I dropped my drink in my hand. I just glued to the screen because Jey Uso's backstage working out and doing the gimmick with the stretch band and stuff. And who the fuck is behind him but Paul Heyman? Where have we seen this before? And he comes out and he's like, hey, man, he's like, normally whoever's not getting with the vision is getting put the fuck down. We ain't fucking around no more. Before it was like, man, I mean, if you're not with us, okay, fine, whatever. We're going to do our thing. Now it's like, if you ain't with us, you're getting put the fuck down. But you, Jey Uso, I see what you're up to, and I like it. It's something that I might plan and tell you to do myself. It's something maybe even Roman might do. Now, he didn't say that, but he said, I like it. What does that mean? It means because Jey Uso's turning heel tonight, motherfucker. Now, he bought himself a little bit of, I don't know, because he said, Paul Heyman, why would you even associate with Punk? Why would you even want to help that guy? Jay goes, because he faced me clean, one-on-one, no tricks, no games, no nothing, man versus man, and I respect that. Okay, cool. But what does Jey Uso have up his sleeve for tonight? He's turning fucking heel. I swear to God, I'm recording these as the segments. I'm watching along. I don't know what's happening yet, but I swear to God, Jay's turning heel tonight on poor Punk. It's coming. It's coming, Phil. And as I've been saying the whole night, they've been building and building and building and teasing and giving us all these little signs that Jey Uso's gonna turn on CM Punk right here tonight. And they go out there and they face Bebop and Rocksteady and they get their asses beat, and then they beat some ass and it becomes a no contest. No contest, double count out. They all lose. Nobody wins. Then Jey Uso just gets fucking flattened. I'm waiting for the big swerve. I'm waiting for something to happen with Jey. And bro just gets his ass destroyed. Just tsunami just fucking squash this guy like a bug, right? Then Punk comes back in with a chair. The exact same fucking thing they did earlier on the show, which I was about to criticize. But then Bebop and Rocksteady did something smart. They had chairs of their own. So they're like, I remember this. We got one for you this time, Punk. They come into the ring. Now it's 2-on-1. Shit. All of a sudden, Logan Paul runs out. This motherfucker about redemption time. He got treated like a punk at the beginning of the show. So now he's back to get his receipt, if you will, right? Hashtag AJ Mana. Get that receipt. So he goes out there and he's loading up these brass knuckles, his infamous brass knuckles. And he's standing there side by side with the world's champion, CM Punk, to face Bebop and Rocksteady, the Meatball Twins. And then, bam! Knocks out CM Punk. So Logan Paul's in the vision now. Logan Paul's replacing Seth Rollins. Logan Paul, he's the third man. He's the third man. He's the third man. I don't know who else might be added to this little faction. I'll say this. Logan Paul needs to sit under the learning tree of Paul Heyman. This will do nothing but make Logan Paul better. And we need Logan Paul to be better. Be better, Logan Paul. No, he's already great. But sitting under that learning tree, he's great at the moves. But he's going to learn more psychology, more storytelling, more depth to his character. This can enrich Logan Paul and take him to the next level. I think it's brilliant to put him with Paul Heyman, to be honest. I don't know that I want him teaming with the Meatball Twins, though. I don't know that I want the Meatball Twins teaming with each other. I want Braun Breaker to be on a trajectory to fucking stardom. He's not going to do it being part of the Meatball Twins. Henchmen for Paul Heyman to just walk out there in their cool sunglasses. We're going to beat some guy up. I'm going to spear him and he's going to splash him. Spear him, splash him, the Meatball Twins. right? Bebop and Rocksteady. It's all they are. Where's your Braun Breaker? And I'm already saying, I know I've said it on this show, Braun Breaker doesn't necessarily need to be a main event guy right now, but I want to see that trajectory. I just think maybe maybe all this only means that they're just letting him cook under the learning tree of Paul Heyman. Let's just get guys that we want to do things with and get really good. Let's pair them all up with Heyman and let's let some of that rub off on him, right? That's the only thing I'm thinking, because otherwise I think Braun Breaker just gets brought down by association. He's just one of two guys in a fucking meatball twin tag team. The Goon Squad. Now you're adding Logan Paul. He's the single guy out. So is he, behind them in the hierarchy? Is he the new de facto leader in place of Seth Rollins? He's going to come out and take the lead in all the promos. And what is even going to happen here? So I don't know that I like this faction necessarily, but I love Paul Heyman with Logan Paul. And I love Braun Breaker with Logan Paul. And the Tsunami guy, Bronson Reed, I don't know. I don't care. He's just neither here nor there for me. I'm not as impressed with him as I think other people are. Or maybe I should be. I don't fucking know. He's just a big, giant, heavy guy that collects shoes. I don't know. But to me, this whole thing was underwhelming. As much of a swerve as it was, and as much as I would like to see Logan Paul work with Paul Heyman and see where that goes, to me, this is a further burial of Jey Uso. This was less, when Triple H came out and said that the very landscape of WWE is about to change, Jey Uso turning heel would have been more of an impact towards that than Logan Paul teaming up with Paul Heyman. It's still a cool swerve, but it's not, I don't know that it has the oomph that like a Jey Uso shocking heel turn would have had. And also, what are we going to do with Jey Uso now? He got squashed by the Tsunami Brothers. It's like, what's he gonna do now? He's just gonna come out and try his hardest again and again and again and just be the guy that like is there to help until the War Games, where he's just a guy on somebody's team in the match that'll end up getting beat and not being part of the survivors even. I don't know. I would have turned Jey Uso heel here. To me, that's the only option. Him just continuing to be a goody two shoes that's just gonna try his hardest. It's death. It's death. He needs to turn heel. This was the time to do it, and this was a giant misstep. I talked about earlier missteps with Triple H's booking. This was a misstep with Triple H's booking, and I think this one will come back to bite him in the ass, because Jey Uso's stock is about to tank. It's about to tank. Because if he ain't winning the title and he ain't turning heel, all he's doing is floundering there on the lower upper card, lower main event card, lower upper mid card, right? Like he's an upper mid card guy that can visit the main event at this point. That's what he's doing. Should have turned him heel, but that's just my thoughts. We'll wrap our show up there. Let me know what your thoughts are down in those comments below. While you're there, hit the subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. It really does help the show out. It helps put it in front of more eyeballs. That's what they tell me. They tell me at the YouTubes, to get it in front of more eyeballs, you need more likes and subscribes and comments. So leave a fucking comment. Everybody's got a goddamn comment. Satisfies. Peace, love, and pizza. I'm your boy, Seth Grimes. And we will catch you in the next video. Ooh, yeah. Thanks for checking out the video. You can check out more great clips by hitting that subscribe button below. Yeah. While you're there, don't forget to leave a comment Don't forget to like it if you liked it. Ooh, yeah. Did it.